Hello, let me know if you can hear me or if my volume is too low or quiet, and then we'll get started. Hello, Euphrat, how you doing? Don't know if anyone else is in here yet. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Alpha Sapphire, how's it going? Is there anyone else alive? Pretty good, pretty good. Good, glad to hear it. Have you been enjoying Skyweaver lately? I'm just going to give it a few minutes to just let people get in here, and then we'll start by going through some deck building fundamentals and what we're going to do today. Alpha played more games than everyone else here combined. Wow. That is dedication. That must be a lot of games. Deck building fundamentals. You gotta start somewhere. This won't be like the most basic of basic stuff. Well, it kind of is, but we'll see if you learn something. If you learn something, let me know. If you don't, let me know, and I'll take that on board. Okay, I think we'll just get started. So, I'm Icicle. Just call me Icicle. Don't bother with Professor Icicle. We'll forget about that for now. I've been playing card games for over 15 years now. Started with Magic the Gathering, moved on to all sorts of card games, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Gwent, Legends of Runeterra, name it, Artifact, all the ones that, all the popular ones I've definitely tried out, and I've loved all of them. So that's been a big part of my life so far. So that's why I feel slightly qualified to talk about these things. It's one of the only things I'm truly good at. So yes, nice to meet you all. I've talked to most of you many times already, but just in case, I want to say a big thank you to the Skystreamer gang. We've got AlphaSapphireX, we've got GoodDog, we've got HanooStreet, Just Add Bacon, Freud, and they're all fantastic. You know, I respect each and every one of them as a player, and I'm terrified of them in a way. But yeah, really good gang, really organized, much more organized than me. Uh, so yeah. Deck building fundamentals. How do we go about building a deck list? Well, first of all, what is Skyweaver? It's a singleton format card game. That's the simplest way to put it. So we're going to go straight into a deck, just empty deck. Strength Agi. This is not going to be for absolute beginners. If you don't know what any of the cards do or how any of the mechanics work, I would recommend one of the community streams. But for this one, we're going to assume that you've had a look through the cards at least, and you know the basics of how the game works. So you might have played some Discovery for a while, and if you haven't, I would highly recommend you go and play some Discovery, because it's a great way to learn. I didn't do that, so I'm advocating for something I didn't do. I jumped straight into Constructed, which is perfectly fine as well. Any way you do it, as long as you keep playing Skyweaver, you will inevitably just keep on improving and improving if you learn from your mistakes, which you will make many of, because when I first started playing Skyweaver, I made so many mistakes. It was unbelievable, and I still make mistakes all the time. And I think every player here can admit to still making mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Anyone that tells you they're perfect is lying. So, yeah. When you do come to that time where you start to say to yourself, well, I'd like to build my own constructed deck list, what I would recommend doing is just taking a look through the cards, okay? That's the first step, is just looking at the cards. This is what I do anyway. So I'll tell you my method. Everyone has their own methods for deck building, and they come about through lots of trial and error, and experience, and just knowing the synergies that you can build into that deck list. So, yeah. What are we doing? We're looking through the cards. Basic. Hey, Hanoo, how's it going? Good to see you. So I'm looking through the cards right now. This is what I do every time I'm building a deck, And what I'm looking for is a card that jumps out at you. You're looking through these and just something catches your eye, something that you're interested in, that, speaks to you. You have to start off a deck list, in my opinion, with a bit of inspiration. Otherwise, it's just not going to be like as enjoyable an experience for you. I mean, some players love to just build the strongest decks out there, like no matter what. But I think as a new deck builder, you want to be enjoying the process. So that's what I do. So I'm just looking through the cards, and you can do this at your own pace. Just take the time to read through every card. It's great to learn like what every card does. It helps you a lot in your game in your games. It'll help you to know what your opponent is possibly running, and to know just a lot of out of deck mechanics. You can guess what you're going to draw from out of deck by having good card knowledge, good prism knowledge, and we can get into that later on if that so interests you. Yeah, deck building in Skyweaver is incredibly fun. That is a good point, and the reason it's so fun, in my opinion, is the singleton format. Yeah, it's like a really elaborate puzzle, and the puzzle is that you have 30 deck slots. You have basically 440 cards to choose from, every single one different. 2 prisms, which I'll talk about the prism system later. I love the prism system. But the fact that there's just so many different cards because of the format means that there's so many potential different lines of synergy that you can build into your deck lists. So yeah, what I do is normally look, this is all going to be coming down to what sort of player you are. But for me, I sometimes look like around the later mana curves, and that when I'm looking at this cost of cards, this is giving me like, you could build a deck around these cards if you really wanted to, and then you build a shell around that is what I'm going to be going with. So, I mean, let's see here. You could say Timber. Okay, Timber is a great example because people do build decks around Timber and have done in the past. Yeah, you also do that? That's good to know. So Timber, what do they do? Death. Do 5 damage to the rightmost enemy. Okay, so you like the look of this card, you want to play with this card, so it's in Intellect with the atom symbol here. So you know for a fact that one of your prism choices, if you want to be running Timber, it has to be Intellect. So That's your your baseline. You've made a decision. That's the first decision, is the first prism that you're going to be going with, and you stick to that. So now you can ask yourself, well, Timber, what are some really obviously good combinations with this card? And I would say you want a lot of recursion because of the death effect. You want abilities to bring this back or summon multiple copies of this unit, because the death effect is very powerful. It's 5 damage and it's got lifesteal. And it's to the rightmost enemy, which is usually the enemy general, honestly, if you get past all the guard units. So this could be quite an aggressive deck. And then you have to decide, okay, I like this card. What sort of deck do they still give access codes? I really want to play this game. Yes, if you join the official Discord, thank you for the follow. I just have the basic Twitch follower stuff right now. Totally unorganized as usual, but thank you for the follow. Yeah, if you head over to the official Discord, which you can find just by going on the website, and you go to beta access key requests, it's at the top. You'll be able to leave a message and they will get back in touch with you. That's definitely the quickest way to get a key and get playing. And I highly recommend it. This is a fantastic card game. Like, I will put my foot down on that one. I love Skyweaver. And I've got lots of reasons why, and why it's better than other competitors in the market. But we'll go into that another time. There's one even faster way. Ah, here we go. Euphrates has you covered. But please do still join the official Discord, because there's lots of useful information there. Lots of people willing to help. So, we're going to go with Timber, and we want cards that bring it back to life, or ways to summon multiple copies of it. Like, that's how you would try and get the most out of this card. What you want to do with constructed deck lists is turn the dial up to 11. Like, you want your deck to be unfair. It needs to be unfair. If your deck is not doing something inherently unfair in Skyweaver, then you're not going to live up to the rest of the competition, because those deck lists are capable of like incredible highs and they're consistent. So your deck needs to be able to compete with that, or present something of equal power or higher power, like a control heavy deck list with some kind of crazy late game win condition. Or you could be going aggressive or mid-range or some kind of crazy combo. Those are like your pillars of deck building. Are you finding this amusing, AlphaSapphireX? Is this good advice, or is this terrible advice? Please tell me. I'm just trying to show you that the best way to deck build is to not be afraid to just try things and experiment and collect data on it and reiterate. I could get arrested for this. I'm teaching new players to exploit Timber. Yeah, you definitely should exploit Timber. This card is very strong. There are quite a few dusting effects in the game, and dusting is a mechanic by which it will remove it from the game without the death effect activating. So, and then you won't be able to get it back from your graveyard because it's been dusted from existence. But a lot of dusting effects right now are sort of limited. I mean, there are some options that are very good against Timber, for example. Where is it? It's in here somewhere. I will find the card. It is a 2-cost card, I think. 2 or 3 cost? Is it mined? Does this account not have it? It might not have it because it's quite new. Well, we don't have these two, so let's get these. Yeah, 2C Wisdom, that's right. Eradicate, there we go. Yeah, so dust target unit with 2 power or less. This is a 2-cost card, so if you were to play just a Timber straight up, 5 cost, and they answered with Eradicate, which you have to be prepared for against Wisdom decks, you just traded 5 mana for 2 mana and lost your main win con. So you have to think about this. You have to plan around this. You can't just drop your Timber straight up and say, just hope for the best, because normally people do have some kind of answer for that. You have to go beyond that and do something unfair. So what would that look like? I mean, what cards could achieve something like that? I mean, you have options. You have Dual Boot, draw a unit, summon a copy as 2/2, give it Dazed and Guard. So if you could reliably draw the Timber, then you're going to get a copy of it as a 2/2 with that very powerful death effect. 5 damage. It's good. It's got lifesteal. You've drawn the Timber, and then you can, this 2/2 summoned from this spell will go to the graveyard if they don't dust it, and then you can summon it again from the graveyard, and it will be at like a fully strong version of Timber. It will reset to a 2/5 in certain situations. In some situations, it'll do what the card says. But if you were to just bring it back to hand, it would be a 2/5 baseline unit. Hello, GoodDog. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. We're just talking. Well, I'm just talking, and you guys are listening. I hope. Yeah, we're just talking about Timber and how we would make Timber OP or very strong, which is what you want to do with constructed deck lists. You want to make something stronger than what it would be in Discovery. It needs to be like turn that dial up to 11 and just go crazy on that thing, or you can make a deck very versatile so it can handle more things. It all depends on, well, at the top level of play, it depends on, or it will depend on, what the meta is, and then you can take that into account with your deck building. So what is everyone else playing? What do you need to keep in mind in your deck building? Are there any answers that you must be running right now to handle certain things that might be popular? But right now, the game doesn't have that many players that, I mean, it's got a lot of players, yes, and the deck variety is very, very high. But I think as more people join, you might find that more people play similar deck lists, and then you have to think about that. If you want to have a good win rate with your deck list, you need to have answers for the popular things in your list. Or your deck could like be entirely built around countering a certain deck list. Thank you. Yeah, it's actually quite an old microphone. I had a Rode NT1A, but I actually preferred this one, even though it's older. It's much older, but it's fantastic. I'm pretty happy with it. So what I read is that all assets in progress will be wiped during beta. So after that, the assets will be in the wallet. I'm not actually sure about that. I don't feel qualified to talk about that. I'm not totally sure. You might have to ask on the Discord, or somebody in chat might know. Okay, so assets will be kept. Only gold cards are awarded. Yeah, that's right. And yeah, those gold cards are going to be quite special, I think. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so this is a very abstract way of me trying to help you with deck building. If anyone struggles with it, I don't know if anyone does actually. Like, is it a natural skill that everyone has, or do some people struggle with it? I don't know. I mean, I think as long as you're willing to try things and like don't throw something away the second that you don't do well with it, because you can have an idea, but the idea in its unrefined state might be pretty bad. So you might have to work at it. Like, so if you have an idea and you try it out on the ladder and it doesn't immediately work, yeah, I think a lot of people, like you say, just don't do any deck building. So, I mean, I find it a lot of fun. It's such an involved process, and it can take up a lot of time. You can be lying in bed thinking about, should I take out that 2-drop? Should I put in that 4-drop? Is that too many spells? It can really get into your head. So maybe you don't like that, maybe you do like that. When you started Hearthstone, I just net decked everything till I got the hang of it. Yeah, that's honestly no shame in it. Net decking, I've known many players that just absolutely like thrash me every time. They never have built a deck, but they've picked one and they've like learnt it to a mastery that is unbelievable, and you just have no chance against these people. Yeah, net decking makes sense for big games. You're certain to get the top tier deck, but here deck building is key. I think deck building is key. I don't know if it's due to the small environment or the game itself and the design of the game. I think it's both, but I think Skyweaver inherently does have a lot of room for you to tinker. Singleton decks are a tinkerer's dream because you can take that out, put that in, you know, you can change it forever. You can be changing it, like, depending on even what you're facing that day. You could have a certain set of cards that you would put into the deck list on that day and then take it out the next day. Gold cards will be kept even after open beta. Yes, I think so. Hello, how's it going? So I've been doing a lot of talking, not a lot of action, and we're going to keep on doing that for a little while longer, if you'll bear with me. I hope that's okay. So, well, we'll continue on the train of thought that we were on before with Timber. So that's in intellect, and we want lots of recursion abilities, and those are primarily in heart. So we're going to be looking at a intellect heart prism. And your most powerful tool, let me just take this down a second. Wait, I haven't taken it down enough. 1 second. Yeah, this is your most powerful deck building tool right here. And this streamlines the process phenomenally. Having to do this with paper and writing it down and thinking, and you don't have to do any of that with this special box. And this special box is incredibly useful. Use it all the time, please. It'll make your deck building process so much more simple. You won't have to keep on going like this or thinking about it. All you do is you just type in, for example, what's that even called? Well, first of all, use the filters. So I'm looking for a spell right now. Okay, here's one option straight away. Necrotic Pact. Kill target ally unit, summon your other top highest cost dead unit of its element, give it fate and guard. Okay, this is going to be an important thing. So I want to talk about how you analyze how good a synergy is between two cards. So what you want is for each card to be working with each other in them, like, and using every single aspect of that card. For example, with Necrotic Pact, it says give it Fate and Guard. Okay, so if you were to use that for a Timber summon, it would get Fate and Guard, but it already has Guard. And it's balanced around having Guard. So potentially there's other cards that go with Necrotic Pact better that don't have Guard. Maybe you can give something that shouldn't have Guard, and that's going to be stronger than, you know, you're not using the card's fullest potential with this combination. There's got to be something better. About how many people actively play this game, I couldn't put a number on it, honestly. I'm sure somebody knows, but I'm not totally sure. It's quite a few. It's definitely active. You can like be waiting in the queue for upwards of 5 minutes, but that's it, and that's it only on quiet times of the day. So like during the busy periods, you can get a match just like that every time. Well, at least I find I do. 10 to 500, quite a large range there. Other things you can think of is, okay, Timber, it's got a death effect. What is the answer to this creature? Like, what will my opponent be wanting to do to it? Well, he's going to want to silence it, dust it, do something to negate the effect of the unit because it's powerful. So you can choose to do things like Germinate. You could kill the Timber on your turn, and, you know, then you've cut out the middleman. You haven't given your opponent a choice. They're taking that 5 damage. That this Timber is going in your graveyard, and you get 2 Elderwoods, which isn't bad. So you're considering these options, and you're trying to build something that really, really works. Something that is going to flow in a game where you have like a progression of 1 mana each turn. So your deck needs to like work with that and understand that. So that's why we have mana curves. So if your deck was all 10 cost, say, like, it just wouldn't work. You need a good mana curve. So you need to think about that as well, but that comes later. First, you're working on like your initial idea, and then you're building from that point, like a package around that that's going to help you reliably get to that win condition. And if I keep on talking about this, it's going to go on for a long, long time. So we will be cutting that a little bit short and moving into some constructed gameplay and looking at a deck list I've built. So I'm going to leave that there for now and just move into you played a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Gods Unchained. I've never actually played Gods Unchained. How was it? Was it a good game? Okay, so let's go into my deck list that I want to showcase for you. Okay, when I was building this deck list, I'm going to move this so you can see. Yeah, when I was building this deck list, I wanted a fast tempo list. I wanted something that was going to be playing good things on curve so that my opponent would have to keep on answering me. Like, you want to have a structure of how the deck is going to play out in your mind. So, for example, I've got powerful 3-cost units like Howlgeist. So these are things that you can drop on turn 1 as player 1 with the mana potions, and it presents a big challenge for your opponent because they have to immediately answer something like that. If you leave a 4/4 up, it's going to clear the vast majority of things that they are likely to play that next turn. So you've like put an immediate requirement on your opponent to answer this creature. So then they're not doing something useful on their turn. You know, they're just answering And you want to continuously do that. That's the idea of the deck. And you want power-ups so that you can make the units bigger and just more threatening, and you've got lots of death effects. So we'll go through each card real quickly. Amalgam. Death if your hand size is odd, draw. It's a 2/2 for 1 cost, which is a solid stat line. Because yes, it does die to banner. But if your hand size is odd, you're going to draw a card. And that is worth it. Like, it's so good. Because your opponent is going to have to input some kind of resource into it to clear. Especially early game. It's going to have to be something like banner. And then you're going to get a card back. So you've went up, you've used no cards, he's used 1 card, and that is going to help you. So then you've got Axolotl, which is a 0/2. The deck list has a lot of beefy or potentially beefy units, like Mushka, for example, and Mamba. Like, these units can get very, very big, and creating a meat shield with Axolotl is a fantastic target for buffs like Windsword, which is a give target unit shroud and +2/+1. So then it's got an attack or Waneblade. It's just a good unit that's going to survive through a lot of AoE and might actually take a lot of damage for you. Yeah, Skyweaver is completely free to play. You get one card each time you level up, and Discovery is a great mode for gaining experience and for acquiring cards. Yeah, Skyweaver is incredibly free to play. Honestly, the entire company is just really pushing the boundaries of how far you can even go with free to play. So I think they're doing a fantastic thing, and I've played a lot of card games, and this is the one that they just don't seem like greedy people at all, and it's amazing. But yeah, we'll talk about that another time. I think it's just 1 that you get per account. I think. I might be wrong. Okay, so where are we? Okay, Axolotl, we've talked about that. Backstab. Now this is one of those cards that is so efficiently costed that you kind of have to run it. If you're playing a fast deck list, you want the best removal and the cheapest removal. You can't really be affording the most expensive and more niche forms of removal. You need something that's going to work reliably in the early game. So Backstab is good for that. Great for clearing out stealth units and otherwise annoying things. Blitz. I was just told about Blitz by GoodDog just recently. No, not GoodDog. Bacon. Yeah, he was looking at this deck list and he told me, "Why aren't you running Blitz?" And I thought about it, and I agree with him, because Blitz is such a useful card. When you have it in your hand, you can play with like Reckless Abandon, because you will have Blitz as a backup plan. This is your, like, you can just keep on going with this, and drawing 3 is very powerful. So you leave that till the last card you play, and it lets you just keep on going. Backstab doesn't remove guards. Yes, it doesn't remove guards. Yeah, but we have other tools for that. We do. Okay, Fly Guy. Yeah, when I first started playing, I looked at Fly Guy and I didn't really understand why it was so expensive at the time. But now I do, because it has Fate, which for a 1-cost unit is just one of the best things, because you just throw it down and you're not worried about it. It's just like a free play. And if you time the Fly Guy really effectively later on, if you draw it later on, you can really mess up with people's plans. And a lot of people don't seem to have answers to the hex that he puts on the enemy, and then they just can't play their unit, or they play it and they die. And what, you put a 1-cost unit down for that? It's so good. Okay, Grim Reprisal. This is a lot like Backstab in that it's just so good that you better be running it. Grim Reprisal is very, very versatile. It used to be better than this, but it's still pretty good. At least I think it used to be better. Yeah, there are currently 2 modes. You've got Constructed with deck building and Discovery random decks. Totally correct, Alpha. And there is going to be another game mode called Conquest, I believe. Or something like that. Okay, we're going to speed run through these a little bit. Earthrune. I have so many cards like Windsword that I can combo with Earthrune that it's just, it's like it's a great power up. Anima is 4 cost. Earthrune is 1 cost. So if you have the draw to support something like Earthrune, then you're going to have a good time if you have ways to activate it, which this deck does. Hantaro. There's a lot of heart units and a lot of death effects, and just a lot of things that you want to silence. And Hantaro, you can sometimes use it just for the silence and the 2-1 and forget about the spell if you have to play it really early. But if you can wait for that 5 mana turn, then in this deck list, we're only running Grunk as the 2 cost unit. So for 5 mana, you can silence something, do 2 damage, and summon a 5/4 with Shroud, which is like a really big swing turn, in like generally. And you can save your coin for that if you like can survive up until that point without using it. It's normally just a really nice swing turn. Mekarai is just efficient, strong. You very often need Banner in the early game to clear units, and throughout the whole game. Banner is a fantastic thing to have in your deck list, especially something that's going to want to be punching a lot, like this. Strike Down. Now, Strike Down does have a downside that you can't attack and use Strike Down. You can't attack with your hero and use Strike Down. Open beta when? Open beta soon, please. This game needs to be totally open very soon. You've joined the open beta when gang, yeah. Elderfall. Just more reach, more early game removal, plus it can go face, which will get you wins more often than you might expect, even though it's only 2 damage. 2 damage can really matter. Windsword, it's a buff card. Shroud is amazing. Most opponents just can't do anything against Shroud because you can't even target the unit. So there's only a select few silver bullet answers for shrouded units, and not many decks run them. I mean, some do. Claw Swipe, very efficient 2 damage AoE. Where the hell is Pandora in this deck? I'll tell you what, I do like Pandora, but I was playing without it. I was playing with it. I was noticing that my hand was constantly getting full enough where I didn't ever use the 3 draw passive. I know it's great, and I know it makes sense in the deck list, but for some reason, I'm just not finding myself running out of cards that often. If I do find myself running out of cards, I will put Pandora back in, for sure, because she's an obvious inclusion. I know, if I play Blitz, it makes sense, right? But Blitz is even faster than Pandora, you know? Pandora costs a lot of mana, and sometimes you just really want to... Because with this deck list, you can sometimes just push out a lot of fast damage with a few certain combos. But you are right, and if we see when I play this that we run out of mana, run out of cards, I'll put Pandora in, because that's what you do. You tinker and you change it up, depending on what's working and what's not working. Okay, Claw Swipe, very efficient, cheap strength removal. You would play both. Yeah, I would play both in a if I was like making my mind up right now and I couldn't change it, like it had to stay like that, I would definitely run Pandora. But because I can just trial and error my way with it, I'm going to try it without it and then see how it goes. Great Gusto is just fun. Look at this guy. Yes, he wasn't in the original deck list, but I felt like the deck just needed some kind of fun end game option. And because you have lots of stealth units with high attack, you know, you can often... this isn't actually that much of an aggro deck. It's more of a mid-range list, actually. Because it's got big solid units like Talonus. So that's a 6/5 with guard. Mamba, that's going to become a 6/6. You know, these are not... this is not a super aggro deck list. It's just looking to stick something big and hit you with it. So I feel like Great Gusto fits that. Trust me, I am by no means an expert in Strength Agi quite yet, but I've been having a lot of fun with it. Okay, we'll keep on going real quick. We'll get there. Halgeist, we've covered this. Fantastic, efficient unit. Imposter, lots of people are playing units with many keywords, and you can sometimes get a great imposter off on certain units. And this card is just great. It's very versatile. Mushka, you need enough Earth cards that you can reliably turn one Mushka and play an Earth card afterwards, so that you can get the effect of Mushka, which is dust your bottom dead Earth card to get Anima. But even if you don't have that, you can sometimes just hit it with like a Wayne Blade the turn after, and that will proc the Anima, and it's a big unit, and it's got a lifesteal. So I thought, how many Earth cards should I actually run? I could have added a few more, but I feel like this is enough to make it worth it. And Mushka is just a very intimidating unit. If you can't deal that 4 damage, you can just lose the game right there. So that's definitely one of the key units of the deck list. Ragnarok, I'm not totally sold on Ragnarok, but it gets some amazing trades in, and it, you know, triggers Anima and gets rid of other annoying things. Another thing with the latest update, when this gets chains, and now you give it Fate or Shield, it's got Guard and Wither again, so Halgeist is really strong right now. Tox. Now, some people might argue with me here, but I really like turn 1 Tox, even though it gets cleared by a single banner unit. For some reason, it just keeps on working for me. Whenever I use it, turn 1, it just keeps on working. Even if it dies, it just gives me some kind of tempo lead, and I really like that. And it's most impactful on that. The evoke effect is most impactful on that turn 1, because that's when they've got the least mana to play with. So there's not a hard and fast rule that, for example, that you need to play something on turn 1 that won't just die to banner. Yeah, Tox is stronger in a full face aggro. Yeah, I agree. But I wasn't sure what else to run here. Head in the Clouds. Well, I'm running lots of air units, so Head in the Clouds makes a lot of sense because it's a fantastic draw card, and you can get quite good discounts on this. I was running Crystal Cache, or Cache, I don't know how you say it honestly. But I just didn't feel like that was worth it. I felt like Head in the Clouds was stronger, and I saw that from Bacon's deck, that he was also doing the same thing, and I quite like that. So it's important to steal ideas from other deck builders, steal their ideas, and then change them a little bit. That's another good strategy. Like, just add your own touch to it, and then you don't feel so bad. Mamba is ridiculous. This card needs to get changed. Getting Fate each turn is really good. And not just that, obviously it becomes a 6/6. It's got Stealth, Wither, and then it just keeps on getting Fate, which can actually be really, really strong. It can make it really annoying to deal with. Just for example, if it gets chained or silenced, it's going to get Faith the next turn. Well, not if it's silenced. Don't use that advice when writing a thesis on your university. Luckily, I didn't go to university, so... well, I did for a while. But anyway. Righteous. I'm loving dusting effects right now, and Righteous is just one of those solid units that is always just great, and if you have access to it, I feel like you should be using it. Like, if you're running agility, I mean, obviously in some decks it's not going to fit, but there's just so many things that this helps you with. So that's why I'm running Righteous. Righteous is great. You don't think Righteous is good? Come on. Well, we'll see. We'll see. You might be right. See, Hanoo thinks Righteous is oppressive, and I agree with him. This card is oppressive. Especially if, for example, you've built up a board, okay? Then your opponent has to spend their turn clearing your board, and they've used all their mana doing it, and then you on 6 mana just drop Righteous with Windsword. I mean, many decks just crumble to that alone. So that's a reason to run Righteous by itself. Because, yeah, Righteous and board clear, yeah. Talonus, not totally sold on this. This is just a big unit. I do like it. We'll see how it goes. Epic Eagle, another card where I'm questioning it. These are cards that could be changed, but I do like them, and they fit the theme of the deck. Garuda, excellent unit. Like, just the fact that it has the Buckler spell, which is fantastic. Armor, guard, lead. It's great. It makes units so difficult to deal with. Kingsley. Now, this is another card where I haven't made my mind up, and you shouldn't make your mind up on cards straight away, like, either. So, Kingsley, it is very expensive for what this deck list is trying to do, but it kills a 3-cost unit, and honestly the spell isn't that bad either, so I'm going to experiment with this and see if it helps me win games. This card would have to help me win games. Yeah, I agree, it's more of a control card, but it could honestly be quite useful, so I'm going to leave it in there and see how it goes. Catch, love this card. We're aiming to hit their face with big units. This helps us with that. Great Gusto, same thing. It's best when your opponent plays some kind of big unit that they're hoping will win them the game, and then you just play Great Gusto, and they feel very sad because now if they play that unit again, the Gusto will kill it if it has guard, which it might or it might not, but basically this just gives you the tempo swing that you need to finish the game, but we'll see if it works in this deck list. I haven't actually played with the Great Gusto yet, so we'll see how that goes. Oof. So, overall, I just wanted to create a very fast strength agilist that had some AoE options and lots of power-ups for big units that can hit them in the face, and there is lots of different lines of synergy actually running through this, but we'll see that in the game itself. So let's just head into a constructed match, finally. We're getting there, we're getting there. Yeah, it can remove a blocker as well. So yeah, I'm very interested to see who the first person to snipe me this evening will be. It could be any of them, honestly. There's many snipers ready to go, I think. come test out what you have against my strength agi deck list. I'm giving you permission to snipe me as soon as possible because I just want to play. You want to watch? Well, that's promising. If you want to watch, that means I'm doing something right. There we go. Now let me know if the game is too loud or too quiet, and I will adjust that. Okay, so when I'm looking at my opening hand, I'm thinking of my first 3 turns. What are my first 3 turns going to be? I'm going first, so I have the option of playing a unit straight away, or holding off and using that mana coin for something more useful later. Or I could just drop, for example, the Mechai and see if he has an answer to it, which he probably would. I'm not looking at something like Kingslayer or Great Gusto, so those are immediate options that I can just leave. I'm going to go with these cards here because I'm running out of time. Okay. Drawing the Grunk is actually pretty bad because this is the unit that we wanted to Hantaro out, but it's okay. We'll manage without it. Hello, Freud. I was wondering if you were going to show up tonight. Welcome, welcome. Okay, now call me crazy, but turn 1 Tox. Is it worth it? What do you think, Freud? Also, is the Twitch extension working? I really want it to work, because it might help with the readability of the stream, but if it doesn't work, that's something I'll fix for next time. Yeah, I'm just going to turn 1 Tox, see what he does. It's pretty toxic, yeah. I mean, it's answered by Banner, so that's not that bad. Oh, he actually drew it! He drew it! He drew it! I've never seen that happen before, actually, on the first turn. Okay, so I'm going to use the Vial on myself. Keep up in card advantage, and I want to keep up in pressure too. So I don't want to just leave this alive. Now that he can, like, if he was going to play a banner unit to clear that, he should have done it that turn. So now if I present 2, like, he can't clear both of these with just a banner. He needs something else. So now he's going to have to use some kind of resource or develop something of his own. So we'll see what happens. We've got nice removal in our hand, nice and cheap. This makes me sad, but that's okay. So he hasn't removed what I'm putting down. Maybe he will with a cost reduced spell. We'll see. Now, I'm wondering what sort of deck list he's playing. And from the looks of it, it's something pretty low costed. He's got pretty cheap removal. So he seems to be wanting to go at a pretty fast pace, but he hasn't done all that much yet either. So we'll still have to determine what sort of list he's running as evidence comes in. Honestly, I'm really liking the look of just Elderfall here. Yeah, that's gonna be the play. Cleanly removes it. We can't really do too much else right now. I mean, we could play Hantaro for next turn to use it, but then you're risking losing that as an option, and you want to use the dive bomb. You want to get the full value out of every card, if possible. We're waiting for him to play something with stealth, so that we can get the maximum stats out of this. That would be great next turn. Backstab we're going to hold on to, just as a useful resource. And Grunk is just going to sit in our hand until we have something to do with it. Okay. So he's played Andromeda. That's a nice way to clear that. And hey, look, we saved onto Backstab. This is why you don't just use spells on face all the time. It's not always good. Sometimes it's good, but you have to get them in range first, I think, depending on what you're doing. So this Backstab is just the easiest Backstab of my life. I could actually do that, but that would be ridiculous. I could have also done Grunk Windsword, but then I wouldn't have been able to clear the Andromeda. I can strike down, I can Windsword. I don't really want to Windsword, and I don't really want to strike down either. I could just leave it alive for the time being. He's only on 3 cards. And I could kill it next turn with Hantaro. So I'm just going to leave it alone for the time being. And just float some mana right now. Okay. It's a pretty big unit. I'm wondering if this is like a must remove right now. And even if I could do that, I could, but would it be worth it? Probably not. I'm just going to go with the Grunk play. Just make this big. It's quite annoying for him to deal with, and it should trade into this. Like, he should have to trade this. Which I like. I like that a lot. Okay, we'll go with that. The armor units are quite annoying for me. There's the trade that I expected, which is fine. Okay. I could play Kingsley because I don't know if he's going to be playing any more 3-cost or less units. But I am only 3 turns away from being able to use it and the spell. But at the same time, that's the clearest way for me to deal with this Halcyon. I could also... This would do it. But then I don't really want to use that. Or do I? Let's just use that. Wait, have I messed up? I might have messed up. Oh no. I do really want to remove that. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to. I don't want to let him have anything on board. That was a pretty big mistake. So we'll see what happens. I've got 2 spells on board. Like, he has to remove these, but it should be pretty easy. They're not the sturdiest of minions. But he has to choose one. Okay. just going to use that. Okay. I didn't expect this, but I'll take it. It's a big unit. We will trade this now, because this is just going to get cleared by something or other, so I'd rather get rid of it now. How do I feel about just leaving a 4-3? I can agree with you that the trade was kind of iffy. Because it had dazed. I didn't need to use that resource there. So yeah, that might have been a mistake as well. So we'll bear that in mind. Do I use my mana and play that now? I could just play the fly guy and see if that annoys him a little bit. Pretty good answer. Deals with the fly guy very nicely there. Trading is good against an opponent with removal. Very good point, yeah. Okay, this is a pretty easy turn for me. Or is it? I do really like using Wayne Blade here, but it might be a bit too much. Although it's a lot of damage to face right now. It's gotta be good to do that right now, for sure. And just develop the Tarnus now. I just want that out. This is hard for him to deal with. Wayne Axolotl Strike. Yeah. We'll see if this is an overextension, if this is too much. It could be too much, but this is just a unit. It's not really an essential thing to have in my hand. Another gear grind. Breacher. We'll take a Breacher from out of deck. He's got a nice clean answer. But this is a pretty nice turn. I'm just going to cast it now whilst I can. I'm getting him quite low now. 8 health is not great to have when you have a Great Gusto with 8 attack on the enemy board. So he's going to be looking for some way to clear this, or to block, or to heal. Otherwise he's pretty much dead. Okay. There's the big unit right there. I wonder if there's a way for me to clear this. If I blitz. Because if I could blitz and clear this, I would win. Which is very tempting. feels so bad though to waste 3 cards on the off chance that you draw a way to deal with this. That's why we look at our deck list. You'd play Blitz? I mean, I'm gonna play Blitz. No, I'm not gonna play Righteous first, but I should have. Ah, I'm sad. I'm so sad. Ah, that was such a fail of a turn. I hit this now. Yes. I'm hitting it because I can draw catch, so that puts it in catch range. This is just to protect my face, hopefully. It's quite annoying. I wish I'd drawn more removal. Like Mortal Blow would have been lethal there. Catch would have been lethal, I think. Yes, it would have been lethal. Even a Grim Reprisal would have been pretty good. Okay, he has armor. Chomp. And this is where I lose the game, because he has big units. This is a problem. My hand is full of useless units. I mean, I can clear this, but then I can't clear this, and then killing him through armor is going to be difficult. I can play this for sure. I need to use it. I have to get myself down to 0 mana so that that gets guard. Although, I might still just be dead here. Oof. Yeah, I'm dead. That was a nice swing turn by Euphrat there at the end. I just ran out of resources, you know, maybe I needed Pandora. So what I'm going to do now is just go back in and straight up add Pandora, because I missed it that game, and now I want it back. Hello, GG. Very good game. It could go either way, honestly. Really nice game. Thank you. Pandora, yes. Because I could have blitzed, drew Pandora, used that. It would have been just useful to filter through my deck to the cards that I needed to win, because there were a few options that would have really paid off at the end there. So yeah, I'll definitely add in the Pandora. The treasure chest, you know, treasure chest in a deck that has that 4-cost spell that reduces metal cards by 2 cost is pretty good. It's also decent by itself if you just have a turn where you can skip it by just clearing something of theirs with banner. It's a nice skip turn, and it puts you ahead in resources a lot. And it's not like offensively costed or anything. It's not the best draw in the game, but it's pretty reliable. Catch. Yeah, X-Strike. Catch. There's been a version of that card in every card game you've ever imagined. Lava Axe. Yeah. So let's go into game number 2. That's one of the classic types of cards. Although I really like the flavour of it. It's like you're throwing it through the creature and it hits them as well. I don't know how you get more attack by throwing an X away. Surely that should give you less attack? I don't know. So later on in the stream I will be announcing the winner of last week's challenge. So stay tuned for that. That's why it's a spell, you get it only once. True, true. I wonder if we'll ever get artifacts in this game. Or like equipment. That would be kind of neat. I mean, attachments are kind of equipment. But maybe something else, I don't know. Kind of interested to see what other decks have been made on this account. Ooh. Ooh. What's the ooey about it? It's got disgustingly high-costed units. That's pretty ooh. Ah. I see. This must be like a challenge deck or something like that. It's just got a crazy endgame. Yeah, passive relics, maybe even structures or units that come online after 2 turns, something like that. That would be cool. Runes like in League of Legends. God, that would be disastrous, I think. Honestly. That would be a nightmare for balance if every person could also choose secondary things like that. I mean, it could be good. There we go, match number 2, let's go. We lost the first one, but it was pretty close. Ah, I didn't add in Pandora. Darn it. Funnel eye cake. I can't read that. Okay. So, we do have turn 1 fly guy, which is an option. Gonna take the backstab. They're running agility, so they're running stealth units. So we could pick this up. Maybe not this so much. But maybe this. But that's too many 4-cost units. Do I prefer Mamba or do I prefer Talanus? I prefer Mamba. But then I don't really need Waneblade. Maybe I could pick both and leave the Righteous out. They really need to make a limit for this. This is too much. Yeah, I could pick both 4C. Yeah. Turn 1 fly guy. Let's do it. One on turn 3, 1 on turn 4. Yeah, that could be good. No, my fly guy. I was asking for that one. I think what I'm going to do is play a 4-cost unit right now. And see what happens. Yeah, and player 1 always gets the 2 mana flask. So we're going to go and play Mamba. See what he has to deal with in Mamba. Yeah, Mamba now is broken. I agree. I love Mamba. Okay. What else you got? Not my backstab. I get a free 6/6. Would you look at that? It's pretty good. Now, this is kind of could imposter that, and that would let me clear this, so I'm gonna do that. We hit him in the face for 6 damage. Okay, he has some units. Now we're going to be playing Hantaro next turn, but right now we're ideally looking to remove this imposter because it's quite annoying. I mean, I can take 1 hit. I could play Axolotl and just, I want to hit him again for sure, and then I'm clearing this every time. And now I can just put this down for pressure. This is fine. He's low on resources. Yes, he's going to hit me in the face, but if he's hitting me in the face with this, it means he has more things going on the board that he has to deal with. It's fine to let 1 proc of this go off. It's fine. Okay, so he's dealing with that, but he's doing lots of damage to himself, so... I mean, yeah, he's playing lots of things, but I still have a 6/6 on the board. Okay. I really want to Hantaro this turn, so I'm always going to be doing that. I want to give something silence. I'm going to give it... Well, these are going to die anyway. Well, it doesn't really matter. Give it to that. I want to hit him again. And again. And again. Okay, we'll go with that. At least not killing me this turn. I could have cleared the board. I know I could have played Talonus, but this was lots of face damage. And it gets me a 5/4, you know, Shroud. Yeah, I love running Grunk as my only 2-cost unit, so that you're guaranteed to draw it every time. I'm glad you're enjoying it. He's having to trade his board in. Can't let that thing live. He has shield. Oh, but I'm protected. My Hantaro is protected from that, but you can now hit it with one of these units. But you're on 4 health. And I have this. I think I win. Do I win? Yes, I win. Thank you very much. Good game. I enjoyed that one. That was nice and fast-paced. Really enjoyed that. That wasn't honestly the best scenario. It was a good scenario, but I've seen better. But that was pretty good. Mamba is like the... beautiful card. We love Mamba. So we're just going to head straight into another constructed game and go game. But we're going to put in Pandora because we forgot to put in Pandora. So we're going to do that now. And we're going to take out... It's always so difficult. The most difficult thing is cutting cards once you've reached like 30 and you love all of the cards. You love every single one of these, and then you have to get rid of one. It's like you're saying you're not good enough. But it is. The card is good enough. It's just not for that list. But I do feel bad for the cards when I remove them from the list. I don't know why. It's just so difficult to remove something. And that's when you know that you've gotten closer to what you want the deck list to be, or what it could be for you. But yeah, I'm glad you relate, because it's like it's actually a real struggle sometimes to choose between the options, because there's just so many. Are we sold on? We're sold on that. Maybe strike down. Maybe we can go without strike down. I do like strike down a lot, and the deck is already quite thin on removal. Time spent on 25 out of 30 cards, 12 seconds. Time spent on 35 out of 30, 12 years. Yes. If anyone is unaware, you can go above the 30 limit on this. You can add in a bunch of this, and it goes above the 30 limit. And this is what you should do when you're building a deck list. You should add in a vast array of options, and then iteratively cut them down over time till you have 30 cards. And you just can't bear to let any of those cards go. And then that's when you feel like you're getting closer to a finished deck list. So what would you guys remove if you had an option? Okay, I'm going to move this over here. What would you remove? I sometimes go and put in everything that has a chance to be in the deck and end it with 50 plus cards. Yeah, exactly. And that's just the way they've designed the game. There's just so many options. There's so many cards that could work. Mortal Blow and Imposter. Okay. I can feel you on Mortal Blow, but it is one of the only like straight up kill cards in the game, and this just deals with anything. It is average, but it's like so well designed in terms of how average it is. It's like perfectly average, so it's like old reliable. This will get you out of terrible situations, or it'll just be okay, or it'll just be like slightly worse than usual. I do have a lot of removal. We'll try your option, and we'll remove Mortal Blow. Epic Eagle, I agree, is questionable, because the effect doesn't really tox Epic Eagle. Tox, okay, I like Tox. Personally, I like Tox. I like the artwork. I like the flavor. He's holding a sword in an aggressive manner. That's like, I like Tox. Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome, Luca Filano, welcome. I like Kingsley. He won us the game. He did. Honestly, he did. Epic Eagle is just more of the same in this deck list. It doesn't really offer anything that useful. It could be something else, and it's going to be Pandora. What else did I take out? I forgot what I took out before. What did I take out before? I'm down to 29. It was something. Mortal Blow, yeah. Yeah, I did. Thank you very much. Let's jump back in with Pandora in the deck list. Queen Mamba and King Slay. Yeah, we've got the king and the queen. It was just to close the game, but sometimes you need cards that close games, and that's one of them. And honestly, the spell is actually really good if you just think about what it can actually do. It can remove a 3 health unit, it can do 3 face damage, and it heals you 3 HP. It doesn't seem like much, but sometimes that's all you need. Well, we're not picking Great Gusto. That would be a bit early. Head in the Clouds, though, with Huntaro in hand, is quite nice. I could pick up a few of these, honestly. And maybe the Backstab as an answer, and we'll just go with that. Yeah, it can be useful. So we don't really have anything productive to be doing, even with the coin. Not the coin, we're not playing Gwent with the Mana Flask. So I'm just going to hit face and pass. And I'm honestly okay with that. Wow. Oof. That's a lot of stuff. That is a lot of stuff. Depending on how effectively I answer this board, he might have just lost the game already. Unless he has Blitz. Or Pandora. Well, that's happening. Okay. We'll do this. We'll do that, and we'll do that. We're going to go with an early Huntaro to answer his level of aggression. Okay? We have options available still. Phase? What's going on? Oh, to go after the Huntaro, of course. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, but we are still fine. Honestly, we're still absolutely fine. He's gone very, very quickly. I mean, very quickly. I do. Correct. But in that case, I just do this. Just make something. We've just made a unit. Let's go. There's actually no point in doing that. I just want him to trade into it, but he's got more banners, so... There's the Blitz. We were expecting that, it's fine. Yeah, but he hasn't actually done that much yet. I could use my Claw Strike right now. That'd be pretty sweet. No? No such luck. That's okay. We'll go with that. I do have Semi-Elite in the deck, but I don't have it right now. I don't hit this. This is never worth to hit. This is worth the hit. Okay. Oof, that's a big defragment right there. Nice draw. Still, I blocked a lot of damage. And if I was to draw a claw strike now, I'd be a happy boy. Okay. We'll go with that. It's a bit scary. I definitely feel like he's putting me on the edge of what is okay. Yeah, I feel very dead. Freud, I feel super dead. My plays just didn't really... Nothing really connected. He just played it so quickly. Ouch. Was it gusto time? Okay. We're still alive. We're not dead yet. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go with that. That should do it. That should be fine. Drawing him a unit feels bad, but I mean we have to now. Doesn't matter. Not mulch. No. That's such a nice combo. Seriously, that was so nice. Ouch. My face. It hurts. Not seeing a way to not die. He does have one card only. No guard units, no way to heal. And the mana doesn't line up nicely, so I can do like 3 plays. I can only do like one of these or both of these. So I think I've just lost. Yeah, very much just lost. GG, well played. So, what happened that game? What went wrong was that he out-tempoed us. He played too many spells, too many creatures too early, and my answers were like single target rather than AoE. So he was able to get having the blitz. Like it was so obvious that you had the blitz. GG, by the way, Alpha. But I can tell when a player has blitz because you're just playing it as loosely as you like. But really nice, yeah. Good job. I'm trying to think of what options I could have drawn. Honestly, it was just a claw strike. I needed claw strike to win, or to survive the early game. Yeah, if you do think you are going against an aggro list and you see claw strike in your opening hand, I highly recommend you pick it, because it's going to be useful, for sure. Yeah, you can't always expect to draw just the one AoE. That's why it's good to have redundancies in your deck list. And I don't really have any. But at the same time, I mean, what options do we have here? If we're looking at spells. One punches is an option. We don't have that much banner, but it's still an option. I mean, even with just one banner, it's just as good as Claw Strike, except you exhaust your hero. If we can't expect to draw Claw Swipe with the current iteration, what can we do about it? Well, you can add more AoE, that's more redundancies, more chances to hit something cheap early on, AoE removal, or you can have more guard units so that you can survive till you can draw your stronger late game removal. We'll have a look after this game and see if we can fit some more removal in, some more AoE removal in. I quite like keeping Hantaro, Mekarai, and this. Maybe Pandora is... I don't like keeping Pandora in the opening hand, unless I really feel like I'm going to need to use it. I mean, he is... Oh, it's Hanoo. Hello, Hanoo. Turn 1 Mekarai. Turn 1 Tox. Let's see if it works against Hanoo. We'll just try it. Yeah. Better late game draw, just like Blitz. Yeah. You didn't have an answer. I mean, it's a lot of... It's just so good, because now I get to do this and draw something. So I've gone... The card hasn't cost me anything. And now I can play this and play Mekarai, because I'm splitting up my threats. And we'll see what he does this turn. Okay, nice turn. Now this is an awkward turn where I don't have that much to do, other than clear this unit, or play backstab and go face. Is that worth it? Is it worth losing the reach? Oh, you have to go, GoodDog. Well, thank you so much for joining us and watching this evening, and also just for organising all of this with AlphaSapphireX and the rest of the team. But I hope you have a great night, and thanks for dropping by. And I will do the announcements quite soon. I think I'm just going to hold on to the option for now. It doesn't cost me anything to clear it. 1 health. We'll just go with that. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. And if anyone else hasn't followed Sky Streamers yet, you should definitely follow us, because every Sunday 2 PM EST, Skyweaver content, and good Skyweaver content. So yeah. Now I really want to Mamba. I really want to Mamba, but I really want to clear this as well. I mean, that does it. But what else am I doing then? Not very much. Not very much at all. I think it's just better to just play the member. And get... Oh, it's got armor. Yeah. It's a very, very cool card. Hide Shield. Oh no. Hanoo is doing wisdom, intellect things to me. I don't like it. How about developing Garuda now? I'm just trying to get something stuck down on the board. We'll try that. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen this one either. It could be something new. Okay. Okay. AoE, I need it. Disgusting. Disgusting turn. He played Kulldozer. He played Savage Garden. He played Force Field. This is tough. Very, very tough. Nice round, yeah. Very, very nice round. I need to do something quickly. We'll go with that. I know it looks like really bad, but I just had to clear that board. I had to. I wasn't totally sure on the clearest line of play for that, and now he just kills all my stuff because he's wisdom intellect. Man, I don't want to use that. That's nice and clean, so I can do this first. Let's see what I get. Ah, just not enough mana. But I can do with this, so it's okay. We've retaken the board now, so he now has to respond again. That was a nice play. And we have pretty decent options. This is a good power-up combo. This is going to be useful at some point. And these two are just great finishes. So we just have to get through this big chunk of health. Hey, it survives to fragment, but dies to the general hit. I mean, I think I just want a Great Gusto. Yeah, I just want a Great Gusto. And just hit. And I don't want to play this because then he could play that and remove the silence and get a 2-cost card, and I don't really want that. So I'm hoping to do something with this next turn. I'm just going to leave that be. These are all quite cheap, so it's okay to save them for when they're going to be more useful. I might be able to do it like a pretty good turn. Teleport. Okay. This should be fine. Oh, it's quite a nice claw strike. I can make this really big. And do that. I'm getting very low though. I don't know how I feel about that. How do I feel about being this low? I know I'm gonna go really low. But it's okay because that has barrier and I can't kill it. We'll just go with that. I want to just get him so low that he has to deal with this somehow or he loses. Or he can kill me. He might run Zam, in which case I might be dead. Yeah, I agree with you that playing the Howlgeist was the safer play, but at the same time, this one puts him in lethal range. So this is going to give me like a win condition where I didn't feel like I had much of one before. I mean, he has 10 cards, but do any of them have guard? Yeah, definitely in a tough spot. I hope so. I like beating Hanoo. It always feels good when it happens. It's okay. We got this. We got it. We did it. I think. No. What? Ridiculous. It's okay. We still got it. We still got it. Really enjoyed that one. That was super close. GG Hanoo. Thank you for the advice, GoodDog. I appreciate it. I think we've done pretty well tonight. GoodDog, I'm not sure I'm going to be streaming that much longer, so I might just do the announcement now. Let me just switch over to my screens. Okay, so first of all, we're going to be announcing the weekly challenge winner of this week, and the challenge was, I believe, to have 10 or more cards plus 7 mana, I think. I have been really absent with these challenges, but I'm hoping to get involved pretty soon. So we're going to just bring up the winner of this week, and also take a look at who won before that person, because I'm quite interested. I haven't looked at this. I've been sent it, but I haven't looked at it. I wouldn't do that because it'd be wrong as the announcer. You know, we must be surprised together. Okay, so here we go. We have 10 above 7. That sounds like this week's challenge, and the winner is Spungo, or Spungal, or Spundog. He has many names, he takes many forms, but he's a genius of winning challenges. So good job to Spungo. Well done. And yeah, really nice. Winners beforehand, I'm just quite interested. Zygod. What a man. Ron K, Too Last, Too Furious. Yes, Galadriel, fantastic player. Love playing against Galadriel on ladder. One of my favorite experiences. So all these people, congratulations on winning each week, and congratulations to Spungo this week. So yes, and we have a bonus announcement. Well, it's not a bonus announcement, we already know about this, so it's not really a big deal. But Turf Wars, Hunger Gangs, this is going to be fantastic. It is 2 teams, 5 combatants, 1 deck per combatant. First combatant will be picked at random, and then you just duke it out. Just both teams are going to go at each other. It's going to be dogs v foxes. It's going to be fantastic. You should definitely check it out. Yeah, and we will be celebrating the winning team at the end. And it'll be last man standing type tournament. So we'll see who can last the longest. Who will run out of combatants first. So definitely come. It's this Sunday. Is it this Sunday? It's next Sunday, November 29th, and it'll be right here on Sky Streamers. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there. And is there anything else we have to cover? I feel like there's something. I just want to say thank you, Horizon, for making this game. And yeah, come watch next Sunday for sure. It's going to be a big one. And hopefully it'll be in higher quality than this. Although I'm not sure about that. But yes, I've really enjoyed tonight. It's been a lot of fun. We've had some good matches. We've had some big defeats. I think we earned some respect tonight with our Agi strength deck list. It definitely can stand on its own 2 feet, but there's plenty to work on still. And that's like all our deck lists. It's always a working project. Yeah, it's going to be so epic. Gina Reno. So I'm looking forward to seeing you on Sunday, and definitely come check it out. And have a nice evening, everyone. I'm going to leave it there because we've hit that all-important 2-hour mark. So I'm going to go get a drink because my mouth is very parched from talking. Yes, please watch the VOD, and have a great night, everyone. Goodbye, goodbye, bye.